beginning of this episode will be done post-recording with narration. I discovered about halfway through the session that none of the audio was actually recording due to having audio difficulties sometime prior. It is unfortunate that it was done in this way, as there was actually a good conversation between Carl and Sean about the last action of the previous episode. I will do my best to convey the discussion, but it will most certainly not be the same. In the last episode, our crew mostly took hiding positions with the exception of Montre, who essentially stripped down and acted like a statue holding a machine gun. After a brief discussion between the group on what to do about the newly arrived German troops, Sean puts on a disguise and acts as a major from a recon squad that was tasked to scout out the area sooner. In a miraculous roll of a 40 in a persuasion check, Sean manages to convince all the troops there that is completely true. With that, Sean was able to practically order them around and split them for the others to take care of. Eventually, our heroes manage to detain all the other troops and move on to delving into the tomb. Sean and Carl stay behind to watch while the others head inside. After some time of watching the Germans, Sean decides to unload an SMG that he grabbed earlier and uses it to kill them all. The team of Effie, Harlen, and Montre take a lift that descends deep down into the earth. Eventually, they make it to a large room resembling a library of sorts. Multiple shelves that seem to be filled with books. The exact age is hard to tell, but they all seem to be well preserved. As they walk through the pitch-black darkness of this tomb, they run into a center point of it all. A large circular podium that is made with a smooth white stone with gold trimming all over. Montre remembers it as a control mantle. Once he activates the mantle, the gold in the room begins to illuminate with a typical green glow, though part of the ceilings emit light, similar to what daylight would look like. As Montre works through the various parts of the mantle, he discovers that this place is essentially an archive for knowledge that they've preserved. He also finds out that he belonged to a race known as the Dureth, or, in his old tongue, the Founders. According to the information presented, his people were in charge of establishing and ensuring prosperity of life for their empire years and years ago. It seems that at some point, whatever society they created decided to revolt against the rule of their creators. Not an uncommon issue, but typically one that gets resolved relatively quickly, though this time it seems that Dureth was unable to quell the rebellion. It got so bad to the point that they formed a plan to create separate tombs that would preserve the resources needed to start over. The overall plan was essentially wait out the rebels, for them to die out as the Dureth predicted, that the rebels would collapse without proper direction. Unfortunately for the Dureth, that never happened. Along with that information of his people, Montre finds some more info on the other tombs that the Dureth had established. There are 2 archive locations, the one they're at and one in the US, 2 armory locations, the one they saw in Peru and another in Western Germany, a materials storage facility in Australia, and lastly a life preserve in Antarctica. Montre locks things back up the best he can before the group decides to take a few books with them. Harlen takes a couple of books on the weapons of the Dureth have. Montre grabs a couple about workings of the animatronic bodies, like the one he's in. And Effie gets one that talks about the magic that she can wield, along with one that is titled The Last Bastion. We cut back to the scene after the archive team has already descended, after Sean had finished killing the tied-up Germans. Carl is shocked by the sudden act of aggression and murder, overwhelmed with a sense of discomfort. Sean is able to see the expression on Carl's face and resorts to giving his reasoning. He states that the Germans aren't good people and are doing bad things in their country. They couldn't afford to let them live and leave, because if they did, then it would just be replenishing their enemies who've tried to kill them in the past. Carl's able to keenly tell this is not the whole truth. It seems to be mainly an excuse for letting out some pent-up anger. For now, he chooses not to press it, but makes note that he doesn't want to kill them in that way. It's one thing to kill them in defense, but this is something completely different. Soon after their conversation, they hear 2 more Germans call out from down the hallway to entrance of the tomb. Sean uses his sharp tongue again to convince the 2 Germans to take him to Captain Gans to report in. Sean follows them, knowing that this action will result in his own death. His reasoning for it is due to his understanding of how Carl feels about killing. From this point on will be the regularly recorded session.
All right, Sergeant Bronze, you and me, let's go speak to the captain.
Okay.
I am going to get the attention of Carl before leaving, and I'm going to gesture to the throne behind which my Garand is hidden, and I'm just going to, I'm not going to say anything. I just want to make sure that if he doesn't take all of the German guns, at the very least he takes the Garand.
Okay.
I'm literally walking armed only with a pump action shotgun into the enemy camp, disguised as a superior rank officer who has no orders. I'm gonna be bluffing the fucking shit out of whatever crazy ass motherfucking shit. God damn it. Pondo literally screwing me so badly. All I got to do is keep rolling 40s, I guess.
So
I leave knowing that Sean's pretty sure he's gonna die, by the way. That's what he was trying to tell Carl, was that he's leaving with these guys and you're probably not gonna see him again.
how so they're all leaving?
Yeah, I'm going with him.
Are how many guys came here?
It was just two, the sergeant and his private, essentially.
Okay, and they're both leaving with the major.
Private would probably be falling behind because the sergeant doesn't need him at the moment.
So he's leaving the private with me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I ordered both of them to come with me.
Oh, okay.
I literally said, "You come
Never
with
mind.
me."
Then they're both going to go with him. I'm surprised no one's going to try to knock these guys out, but I guess that's.
Carl has already told me that he's not okay with what I did, and I'm trying to respect that directly in front of him.
I didn't say
am
murder.
going
I
to-
just said knock him out. You didn't have to kill him.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to this camp and see what kind of crazy shit I could cause.
Okay.
As soon as they leave, oh boy, yeah, okay. As soon as they leave, Carl slings the MP36. Just thinking, wait, because what he's about to do is a little potatoey.
What are you going to do? And I'll tell you how feasible it is for you to do with the amount of weight that you might be carrying.
Well, I figure he's got to be below encumbrance if he's going to try to be continually shooting and moving.
Oh boy.
Okay,
Did I just activate Carl? Did I extremist him? I'm literally like, oh man, I'm probably gonna die, but I want to respect Carl's wishes. And Carl's like, it's time.
Well, so you had that whole talk with him that nobody else is going to hear, and then I think
Let's be very clear, audience. I made a incredibly convincing argument that Nazis are bad and that they should be shot. And let's be clear, it was like 5 minutes long, and I did manage to get Carl to agree with me by the end of that.
But I think the other thing is aside from the vengeance streak, the fact that Sean is at least somewhat knowingly probably walking to his death for the group.
That's definitely no. He literally, basically, encodedly told you that he's probably not coming back.
Yeah, that the level of that showing of conviction is giving Carl some motivation for now.
Okay,
He's
so
pulling his devil trigger. I see.
So you know what? He's gonna drop some gear and he's gonna pick up the bar. The bar doesn't have a single shot, does it?
you can do single shot.
Okay.
So your rate of fire is 3, which means you can do anywhere between 1 to 3. Which
All right, and that's for a single attack, right?
yeah. So if you can do,
Okay, yeah, well, I'm good. I got it.
so if you want, you
understand
could
that.
do the same rate of fire thing that Montre does. You would just use like essentially 3/4 of your magazine to do it. If you want to do it that way, you just do it on a random roll table, or if you want, you can take a -2. But so you're at a D6 strength, which means your typical carry weight is about 40 pounds.
Yeah.
BAR, I think, probably weighs what, 30?
17.
17? Okay. They gave you the light version, apparently.
Let's see. You know what? I've got a solution. Because I'm going to use the bar. I walk behind the throne and I lean my pump action shotgun next to his Garand.
It's like the opening menu scene for Final Fantasy X. We leave all of our cool weapons.
Okay.
I grab my my bandolier of bar magazines and throw it over, and I start moving out behind them. I'm waiting. I want to follow. I'm not trying to catch up to them. I'm not trying to get into conversation distance. I definitely don't need that with the caliber I'm shooting. But I want to. So as soon as I can, like, step outside to use a tree and take a knee, I want to try to shoot both of the sergeant and the private.
Okay.
And I'm going to try to multi-action that.
Okay.
Brutal.
So first thing, I need you to make a stealth roll because you're not supposed to be doing this. You can get I'll give you a +2 because they can't really see you, but they can possibly hear you. Okay, so with 7, you're fine. Okay. All right. So you make it out behind them to get to a point where you're able to get, well, to the side where you can get a decent shot at the 2 guys. You can go ahead. So like I said, you can do rate of fire. So you could do either 1, 2, or 3. 1, you'll just fire 1 shot. A 2, you'll fire 5 shot bullets out of your magazine. 3 is, well, so let me.
Yeah, we gotta check rate of fire to bullets.
Rate of fire. I gotta check that because I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be 5, 10, 15. Where do I have that rule? Montre uses all the time, so I should know. Though I think when he uses it, it's like 20 bullets at a time because he usually fires the full 4.
Doesn't he have a buff to his rate of fire as well?
Well, MG 34/32 or 42 just has a insane fire rate to begin with.
Did Montre take a talent or whatever to increase the rate of fire of guns he's using?
I think he thought about it, but he didn't.
It turned out that it wouldn't actually be as effective as it sounds.
It would just use a lot more bullets.
Cool.
It would have been cool, yes, but it would have just used more bullets and done the same amount of damage for me.
Yeah, so if he went spray to fire 5, it would use 40 bullets for 5 potential hits, compared to 20 for 4.
Yeah, but I trademarked it, so I do a lot with every hit.
Okay, so you could do potentially rate of fire 3.
How many bullets is rate of fire 3?
10.
Okay. And there's no accuracy penalty for the rate of fire, right?
No, you just be doing. You can take the -2 on each, or you could just do the random table like Montre usually does.
The -2 on each for.
If you want to have it to essentially where it hits the torso, so it can easily kill them.
Oh, just do random hits.
Okay.
I'm not Montre. I'm not going to take the accuracy penalty.
He doesn't take it either. He's the one that usually does the random locations.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I'm going to do random locations. I'll do the rate of fire 3.
Okay.
I'm just going to mag dump on these 2 guys, and I'll take a shot at each at rate of fire 3.
Okay.
Rate of fire 3 attack.
And just give yourself a +2 to counteract it. Because it's going to want to put you at the -2.
Okay. Any bonus for shooting these guys in the back while they don't know I'm here?
I'm going to say for this instance, no, because you're also going to have to try to avoid shooting Sean.
Fair enough.
I'm really murderable, by the way.
So I'm definitely going to I'm using the multi-action thing to do 2 different long bursts. I have no intention of blocking it across Sean.
So here's the other thing. When you do rate of fire, on a 2, you can accidentally hit an innocent or an ally. So that's the other thing in the situation.
Do it, Kain. Absolutely do it. Do not listen.
Okay.
Sean Dublin is a hero character.
Sean said do it. I'm doing it.
Okay.
Yeah, do it.
All right. We'll see what happens here.
So roll.
You're never going to hear me say don't kill Nazis. That's all I'm saying.
What do we roll here? So 3, 3.
Oh no, not the Nazi death.
Yeah.
I'm going to ignore the minimum strength thing for now.
I got a bipod, and I did say I was using a tree.
Did say
Oh,
that.
okay. Yeah, so that actually, you wouldn't have to do a random table if you're using a bipod because that would take that away.
Oh, okay. Well, then whatever I can do to make this as lethal as possible without incurring an act.
You have a
penalty on
hit
the
on the
rolls.
first guy. You luckily didn't hit Sean at all.
Okay.
So
then
roll the 2d8 plus 1.
So with the +1, that should be 10.
Then I automatically do it. No, I didn't. Okay. All right. Now I got to check to see how murderable they are.
Harlen, did you get a new pistol during this episode when we weren't recording?
No, we talked about I got a pistol a long time ago with the magic pistol when we were on the previous temple.
Ah, okay.
He got his pistol-shaped soul caliber.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
They are toughness 6. So yes, that will actually kill them. Okay. So the first guy is dead. We'll say it's the grunt for now. The grunt's dead.
Well, this might be a cat out of the bag, but here's the second shot, and he's got no multi-action penalty right now. So let me drop that back in.
You freak of nature.
He's well coordinated.
Uh-huh.
Here's the hoping I don't make Sean a hero.
Okay. Just
Oh,
need to stop.
boy.
All right, there's some rolls here.
There are some rolls here. Things are happening.
So you got a 14, a 9, and a 2. Sean is going to get shot. Let me double check the rule because I'm pretty sure that is the case because it works the same thing with the shotgun spreads for the innocent bystanders.
So if I use my Benny, well, I'll let you read first before I.
So if you
start
use your
stacking.
Benny, you'll have to re-roll everything, but you can take that result. You just wouldn't get the raises if you don't roll any raises.
shoot me. Because I'm playing my card that allows me to transfer an attack to
Okay.
someone that's nearby.
Okay, we're good.
And I
Let's just-
transfer to the Nazi. I
Let's
play
roll
better you than me, Pondo. Hey, remember when I was like, I'm okay with this? You should shoot at me.
All right, so let's roll this damage. How do I roll damage for that 14?
That explains. So essentially, if you get a raise on the on an attack, you get an extra d6 damage.
So just
So it'd be
roll- do the raise
2d8
damage roll.
plus 1 plus 2d6. Unless it already gave it to you.
I clicked the raise damage button.
That works too. Okay.
Just to be clear, me playing this card is physically grabbing this guy and using him as a human shield. When I hear
Yes.
gunshots, I just use him to block the bullets.
Yes.
Sergeant, no.
So the other thing,
so-
is I think if you do the rate of fire the typical way, it's all damage at once. That's what I'm trying to figure out, and I can't find. Apparently, I didn't mark it. That bothers me.
I mean, if I did enough damage to kill the other guy with one bullet, I think I
there's-
murdered this guy too.
Yeah, no. I just want to see how much damage you end up throwing into this one guy. Go ahead and
Okay.
roll the other one with a raise. Okay, so 13, 15, and then the one against Sean, but it won't be a raise. 7. Or no, that'd be 8. I don't think it added the +1 and all. I
Yeah,
don't think is it.
It's not putting the plus ones in. So 14, 16, and then the 8 that gets shoved into the guy next to him.
Yeah, so the first guy you kind of just barely nick without accidentally hitting Sean, but you managed to get him right in the back and get him down. The other guy, you had shot him before, but Sean was about to get shot, and he just instinctively grabbed the guy, put him in front of him, and then there's some holes. You made this man a multiple donut, essentially. You turned him into a pretzel, just not folded up like laundry. You're out of bullets in your magazine though, so that's you got that going on for you.
I'm gonna turn and look at him astonished, and I'm gonna say,
I'm starting the dramatic reload while you're turning around.
Carl, why did you do that? You didn't want to get involved in these kinds. I specifically went with them so you would not have to do this. I appreciate that you just saved my life, and probably that last bullet was going to hit me, by the way. We may want to talk about fire discipline at a later date. I truly am touched and appreciative that you came here to save me, but I did this so that you wouldn't have to.
I was on the fence about a few things, but the fact that you were willing to do that, we need a plan now.
I'm not your superior officer, but if I was, I would be disappointed that you left the rest of the team without anyone watching their back. We need to get back there now. Let's strip these guys of their weapons and get back to watching everybody else's back. I appreciate that you watched mine.
I'm gonna keep an eye out for anybody else while he grabs their guns.
Because I came out here unarmed. Yeah, I grabbed their guns, and then we head back.
At this point, probably group fully regroups, essentially, at the end. The archive group probably starts hearing the loud gunshots coming from outside of just a full magazine of BAR being shot at somebody of 30-06.
They come back into the throne room. Dead bodies everywhere.
I still think Montre, when he walks out there, initially he's gonna be like, "Oh, come on! I was going to do this too."
All right, I hear you say that when we walk in through the door, and I'm just like, well, I knew I was going to have to explain myself a second time, so I guess I get to do the speech again. I don't know if I want to do it for the viewers at home, but I assume all of you heard my speech earlier, and I give the same one that, Ruslan Omar's a vampire, he killed my father, I've not been feeling well about this, Nazis are bad. Specifically, we know that a Nazi we know of is on their way here and was talking about world domination through magic and science. And that I just determined that it would be better to eliminate possible enemies, not possible, definite enemies who would not hesitate to do this to us in any way, shape, or form. But I did it after I tried to save their lives. So it did look a little strange, but I had a change of heart.
Montre will kind of nod slowly and be like, I mean, I really don't understand like 90% of your point there. But this facility is exactly like the one they have in the place you guys call Germany, except they didn't have me in Germany, so most likely they assume that this is going to help them understand what they have in Germany.
Well, we don't want that.
Yes.
Do any of these people have explosives? Can we disable this place somehow? Like, either
Grenades.
permanently.
I'm sure
Yeah,
Harlan still has a stick
grenade.
of dynamite still.
There's absolutely 0% chance a single grenade is going to do the kind of damage I'm
I
hoping
didn't say
for.
a grenade. I said grenades.
Well,
He's-
Montre, you're a guardian of these places, right?
Yes,
That was-
I've attempted to lock down the interface for the table, but that doesn't mean that. I mean, honestly, if they figured out how to use even a little bit of the one in their country, eventually they could figure out how to get this one to work.
I mean, what is even in here? Are there
This
more bodies? Like,
no, that was that facility, and the other one, and he'll kind of tilt his head. As I have to go switch over to the note tab.
So the facility in Peru was a barracks / armory. The one in Germany is a barracks / armory.
Yep. Okay, I had that backwards. He's Germany had what was listed as the same things we faced in Peru. A facility full of things like me being held for when they were needed in the future. This place is an archive, as is listed as an archive, and there's one in what Effie mentioned was a place called the United States. Had one as well. A place Australia.
well, Austria and Australia are two very different things.
Yes, I'm sure I'm saying it wrong, but that's the materials and minerals materials depot. And in Antarctica, there was a specimens reserve, apparently for flora and fauna.
I am going to wrap my mind around most of that later. This is an archive.
Correct.
It's
Yeah,
a
well,
repository of knowledge.
My creators are much older than the professor assumed. It kind of imperative that he gets a hold of this archive, or we at least make sure they cannot. I don't understand your political stances, but as of the moment, they are the enemy and they must be denied this asset.
Okay. Well, if we destroy this, then it's lost.
Correct.
I mean, would you even let us do that in the first place?
No.
He kind of looks over to Effie, kind of chuckles.
Okay.
I would try to allow you, but I don't think I would be able to allow you.
Effie, let me contextualize this.
Can we seal this?
Do you want the people that have been trying to kill us to have access to this place after we leave?
Of course not.
How do you suggest we resolve your seemingly contraindicative imperatives to both not destroy this knowledge and also keep it from people who are bad?
It's a great question.
I think we have to make a priority. What's more important to you? Keeping this knowledge out of the hands of bad people or allowing others to reach it?
We just block it off or hide it?
I don't know that we can hide this facility. They definitely know exactly where it is. I think we might be able to.
This back part that we were in, the entrance to it.
Okay. If you think you can do that, let's do it. How do you want to execute that?
I don't know if I can do that. I was just saying as a suggestion that would be a.
Is there?
I'm
is
going to turn
there
to Montre then. It's facility.
Yeah, is there a way that you can lock the doors, Montre?
Well, technically they are always locked. They require one of the guardians to open and close it, but
So they can't open it without someone like you.
not naturally. But if they broke it, eventually and he kind of wave his hand towards the areas around the door. He's like, as we've seen even in some of our dealings, there's always a way around a door.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest, guys. Like, it's going to be way easier to get through the wall next to the door than it is to get through the door. I don't know if you've ever heard of this guy called Gary Gygax. He hasn't been born yet, but one of the prime ways to solve Tomb of Annihilation is to just dig around the door and take a team of miners.
Roger or not, it's like, and unfortunately, there's only one other of these facilities on this planet.
Do you know if what's in them is a duplicate of each other? Do you remember that much?
All the archive said was it is also an archive.
All right. Montre, how confident do you feel in the security of this facility right now?
I would have to kill all of you to make sure it stayed a secret if I wanted to be truly confident.
Okay, but let's assume you're not going to do something totally psychopathic, he says in a room full of people he killed.
I don't understand what that word means, but you are currently listed as an ally, and
that second part that I said was to the audience, not out loud.
If you can if you can close it, and maybe where is like from that door is the archive behind it, or
No, it is down a lift. I don't know the better word for that. It is technically he's been in British.
Yeah, an
He's been in
elevationer.
Britain.
Yeah, we've got them.
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
It's below that, and how that is powered, I don't know. I can try to attempt to keep it raised. Perhaps that function is in the chair, but I've never tried it. I will reiterate, I am simply a soldier, so I wasn't given all the knowledge of the builders.
Yeah, I gotta be honest, locking this stuff is just gonna buy time. The only conceivable way we can secure this facility is hiding. If they know that they can get to something with enough time and effort, they will. We know this because they did get to the Chinese burial site before us, correct?
They were already there, technically.
Yeah.
Before.
They were there and they hired a bunch of people,
Yeah.
but they also rebelled against them because they were tired of the rebel
Nazis.
condition and because
You can just say they're Nazis, Pondo.
So Carl will look over at Sean and say, "Well, Captain Dawson is the one who's figuring these out, right?
Yeah. Captain Dawson knows who we are. He's seen all of our faces.
Well, he's the one in charge of, like, he's the one who's finding these places, right?
Yes.
he actually no, he has seen Harlen's. Never mind. Harlen had the dynamite that blew it. Yeah. So before anything else, I will note that Montre can close the door back up for that open up that led to the hallway that led to the lift.
Mm-hmm. Well, he'll do that pretty much as soon as they get
Yeah.
out of there. Then, just to make that a. Is that the only door? There's not another door that he can activate. I think what he's trying to do at this point is just to give himself more time. Is try to make that lift not function.
Go ahead and give me another common knowledge. You're using your brain power to figure out your past here. 4, 3, 7. Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying. It's hurting. Smoke.
So
Coming out of
you know you can do rudimentary lockdown stuff. You can't do more than that because you don't have, at least for this facility, you don't have the clearance to do it.
Of course, because I'm just a grunt.
There's a possibility with Effie and her book and her powers, she might have more because you, as you quote to yourself, she is technically a priest.
But he doesn't really.
You just
He'll
don't know what's
mention
going to
it.
happen if she did try.
Yeah, and also how to undo it because he barely knows he can do it.
Montre, you look like you've got something.
I'm able to lock down the doors, and the elevator, the lift, or however he wants to say it, is up, but I can't guarantee it would stay that way. There is a higher level of access that a priestess would have, and Effie technically fills the role, but I don't know what that will do. It doesn't tell me. It just basically, it's like a guy at a door saying you have to be this person to get in, and then you're like, what's in there? And they're like, you only know if you're this person.
Yeah, bouncer. We have them in this time too. I'm gonna look at Effie and just say, okay, do you want to do this? Do you want to take this risk? Close the place up, hide it away from the world again, but leave the knowledge intact?
I do
don't
want to
think
leave
we can
knowledge.
allow them to get this, so I think.
What do you want me to
Get
do?
rid of it.
I
So
want you to hack the door
Why do you think I'll not be able to hack the door?
because
Honest-
Montre said that you could hack the door.
Honestly, we have no idea. But
They don't.
Montre seems to think that because of the powers that you've been granted, they're similar
yeah.
enough to a person from his time that has the ability to secure it more than he does.
I know you don't like the terminology priestess, but that's the closest equivalent we have in this situation.
Yeah, he has faith in you.
Carl does give you some side eyes.
I turn to him and I directly say, he's calling her a priestess. Come on, man.
Carl just throws his hands up and he's like,
I just said that when I saw that in my head. You're just sitting there like shitty grin when you said that. And Carl's just like slowly, just his neck creaks like it's made of metal as he turns to stare at him. Like,
Am I wrong?
this is perfect. I love it.
do you want to try and see if you can take the part of this priestess?
Okay, I'm not a priestess, but I will try to hack
Well,
the door.
that's why I said try to take the part, because I know that's all. You know what? I'm going to watch the entrance.
What do I need to do to look at the door?
so essentially, you'll sit to the throne and I'll need you to do a focus roll as you're trying to, I want to say commune, but link yourself to the throne.
I just got some real intense Warhammer 40k vibes.
For the Empress.
We're gonna go
Oh,
to
boy.
Dawn's camp, not to
All right,
kill them
10.
all, but to capture them all, so we can feed them to the throne.
With 10, okay. So as you sit down and kind of focus on really anything that, a command, a thought, or, a question, you start feeling just a surge of, really the surge of presence that you feel as you can kind of feel the spirits start moving around, and this chair starts glow, like all the gold in the room starts glowing more than what it did with Montre. As all the spirits are just moving straight through, you can feel that you can shut everything else down, giving maximum security to access. So anybody, it would have to be high personnel, like technically yourself right now, that would have to be able to unlock it. Even then, to access anything to the lift, you would need another level, and then one more to activate essentially the map that was in the center, or the computer, quote unquote. I don't know where to be a proper term for 1936. I don't know when the computer was actually made. I'm pretty sure not at this
I already
point.
talked about Charles Babbage.
You
The
did?
electronic machines are working.
That's right. You're a name dropping man that no one can stop you.
The counting machine.
Hey, you know that the guy who led the Nimrod expedition to Antarctica and made it to the magnetic South Pole? Irish. Definitely met a young Sean Dublin for sure.
Has Sean Dublin just met everyone?
He's the son of two famous rich Irish people. So I feel like as a kid, like probably he can't travel the world, but a Irish explorer and Sean Dublin for sure. He was like, Mommy, I want to meet Ernest Shackleton.
Well, one of your rich parents are dead, so it's...
Oh.
Yeah, but they weren't in 1922 when
Yeah.
I was a little baby kid.
Baby boy.
Jesus, Pondo. Yeah, if you want to rub it in, you're the one that killed my father.
Actually, technically, you killed him first. I just killed him more.
Oh my god!
Wow.
We're having father killing.
GM fight. GM fight.
So the only thing you can't do without just completely trapping yourselves is lock up the main part of the entrance, so like the very entrance of the tomb. For some reason they didn't design it to where it was a time lock. It was you either locked it or it was open all the time.
Likely because most of them either stayed or they just threw a Montre at it.
The
Stay here.
location seemed
Okay.
like no one wanted to go out there anyway at the time, so it's kind of...
Technically, nobody was a good person.
I mean, I guess the other thing you guys can do is just blow up the front entrance to make it more inconvenient.
I was thinking we were going to try to do that anyway.
You at least have a bunch of grenades and a stick of dynamite.
And we've checked there's no other exits?
There's not.
Only one entrance.
It would take a lot of digging with equipment that it would be hard to get out to this point.
I'm going to make a real reach at a Star Wars reference, but One Way Out. It's okay if you didn't get that one. That was a real obscure.
I want to say it has
Yeah,
to
no,
do
I
with
know.
the big worm asteroid thing.
No,
Okay.
it's Andor.
I see.
Yeah,
I have not
Andor.
watched Andor yet. That's on
I
my
know.
list.
I didn't get your reference either.
Ooh.
Well, okay, Sound. Calm down. Calm down, young blood. As I said, it's fine. It was really obscure, guys. It was really obscure.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just gonna look really impressed with Effie and say that this is incredible work you've done here.
I don't really know what I've done.
You have a
Well,
splitting
it
headache, by the way, Effie.
Looks
That's-
like you just did some magic.
Yeah.
Unless I missed
My
some
head
work.
hurts.
Yes, perhaps we should keep an eye on Hirsch. If what I'm understanding of what I've forgotten or just was purposely erased when the professor was tinkering, she has altered her soul slightly and she'll need time to recover. It's fine in short dosage. It's just don't give her that pistol from the other tomb.
Right. Hey, I need some help with these guns. Carl and Harlen, can you help me over here?
Yeah, he'll literally just like as soon as they start to walk away, he's like, "I'm really sorry, I had to ask you to do that, Effie."
I don't think
I
Harlan's
just-
going to be much help with guns. He's a little scrawny boy.
Yeah, I'm
Good,
not bringing them
Carl.
over here.
Carl looks over at Montre and is like, "You want to pick some of these up?
I can try, but
We got them.
be a hauler.
We got them
So-
bundled and strapped."
While I've got at least the two of them and maybe even Montre over there, I'm just gonna be like, Carl, It sounded to me earlier like you were implying that we should go kill Captain Dons because we roughly know where he is.
Yeah.
Okay. Harlen, how do you feel about assassinating the SAF leader who sent these guys here?
They keep trying to kill us, so I certainly don't mind getting rid of him.
Montre, I'm not sure if you're over here helping us with the guns.
He would be.
How do you feel?
It is an enemy commander, and he is not knowing we're here. I don't understand the question. Why would we not eliminate the competition, so to speak?
Yeah. Let me ask you a question real quick. How do you think Effie's going to feel about this plan when I tell her about it in about 30 seconds?
She does not like killing at all, from what I've observed, even if they are trying to kill her, I would assume.
Yeah. So I need to make sure that everybody's on the same side about this. And it sounds like all four of us are on the same side. So, check these guys' pockets for any maps, anything that could lead us back to their base camp. And I actually would like to keep these guns. So, Montre, if you could just grab all those machine pistols and all this ammunition and put it in a sack and something, and let's get out of here. I go grab my Garand and I turn to Effie and I say, "Hey, Effie, so we learned that the guy from China, Karl Dons, is on his way here, and we figured we should probably just go kill him before he kills us."
But he doesn't even know we're here.
I guarantee that he knows someone's here because there have been so many gunshots, and you also missed the thing where there was a actual wild man swinging through the jungle earlier. So he for sure is gonna come here expecting someone to be here.
If anybody is going to be putting in the time, the effort, and the resources into getting around whatever it is that you and Montre have done here and acquire all this knowledge and do so in any violent and world-dominating means that he cares to do, it's going to be this guy. And he's apparently good enough that he has found more than one of these places.
Do you remember that speech he had for us in China? I mean, about the whole murdering and world domination and all that stuff. I just want to make sure we're on the same page, that this is a really bad guy.
Of course he's a bad guy. Why would we pick a fight, though? We don't even know how many people he has with him.
I mean, I agree with all of that, but I think that if we've got a shot to ambush this guy before he can get us, I think we need to kill him first and better.
But we don't even know how much people he has with him. What if he's got like a whole army?
I mean, I agree that that's a possibility, but we have to go find that out, essentially.
Perhaps some of us should be, if we were to find out first, but then some of us can be a distraction, and I can try and take care of him myself while that happens.
I would appreciate you assassinating him, but yeah, let's start with some reconnaissance, I guess.
I'm not agreeing with suicide, but the guy's insane.
Yeah, gentlemen, we have a plane.
The guy's insane, and if anybody is going to be able to get in here faster, it's going to be him. And we know he's not going to do anything good with that knowledge. It feels like a step to secure this place.
That scientist, that crazy scientist that was with him, played by me, he seemed like the real threat.
I'm honestly really surprised he's alive. Didn't we blow him up in a building?
I believe you guys dropped a building on him. Yes.
Yeah.
So
the tomb.
Are we sure that we can kill him? I mean, if a building doesn't kill him.
I mean, the building didn't kill Harlen or me.
Okay, let's get to the intel part. I feel like that's going to be very important. But I just want to make sure that we have a united front here. We're going to start...
Wasn't he also possessed by that ghost that we unleashed? By we, I mean you?
No, it was a random soldier that was possessed. That was immediately blown up.
It definitely wasn't me.
But I thought they were all blown up. So now I'm trying to figure out if that ghost is still alive. Still haunting.
I don't know where that spirit is. At the time that I should have thought about that, I was still trying to get over the fact that it existed at all. So
I wasn't too worried about the spirit because I thought everybody behind you guys didn't make it out of there.
Do you think that it's in his body right now? Is that what you're suggesting?
I have no idea. I don't know how that spirit works.
I don't know either.
It's not like it can die.
Okay, we can talk about this on the move, but for sure, we're all united, and at the very least, finding intelligence that will tell us his location and scouting that area out Whether Harlen assassinates him, whether we use the plane to drop stuff on him, whether we go all out, we need more information than what we have right now. We're all in agreement.
Montre nods.
All right, I'm gonna really dramatically sling my Garand over my shoulders while standing in my bloody Nazi
uniform.
major uniform and go, then let's move out. But I say it super Irishly.
Reiterating the Irish.
Yeah, you make sure to prepare your best Italian.
All I'm thinking is Captain Price for MW, the Modern Warfare, not the newer versions, the older versions.
Listen, I'm trying to give the audience what they want. Okay.
Yeah.
I assume this is what they want because they're still watching at this point, and I've been doing this nonsense the whole time. Who knows? I could be the Ron Stampler of this campaign.
That would be different. You're off of being Ron Stampler. I'll just let you know now. Ron Stampler is an alien man. Okay.
Yeah. The latest episode of Dungeons and Daddies is a live show where they do their first campaign characters again, and Beth playing Ron still makes me want to punch a wall.
Yeah, it's
in a way I haven't felt since I've been a teenager. I hate Ron Stampler so much.
Yeah, he's a menace to society and should have died a while ago, but it's somehow
so
lived.
Funny because Scary Marlowe is an incredible character and Ron Stampler is horrible.
I feel like at first it was just that Ron was a product of her social awkwardness for the situation, but then
it's intentional. That's
okay. That's unfortunate.
Yeah. No, it's not unfortunate because Scary Marlowe is incredible, and some of her one-shot characters have been great. Ron Stampler is an intentional design.
Yeah.
Are we going any further in this episode? I feel like Pondo probably hasn't prepped. They invade Carl Dawson's camp.
Yeah, I was expecting a meeting with the boss, but I wasn't expecting you to fight one of the final bosses. That's
hey.
You know?
Listen,
I will
need you to be
need
prepared for us to drop the dingo out the back of the aircraft at high speed into his camp and attempt a bomb site. Yeah, could you imagine him being in his command tent and then just the tent collapsing under the weight of a dingo, just fucking flattening everyone in there? All right.
I like your assumptions.
Yeah, we could send Harlen to assassinate him, and I would love for Harlen to get that chance. But if that fails, we can drop a heavy object on him.
You got to get to the dingo first, for one thing.
Hey,
Just get a big
there's so many moving parts right now. I'm just concentrating on what we can get to.
I need people to give me stealth rolls.
Stealth rolls? But why?
Because you're in a jungle full of your enemies. That's why.
Wait, we're going right now?
What else do you want us to do?
Just to get out of here, I guess.
The stealth roll is for also the hiding and for the getting outs. Are you blowing up the entrance, by the way?
It sounded like that was a no. Effie sat on the throne, and Montre locked the doors, and now we're going to try to knock off the guy who keeps figuring all the stuff out.
Did my stealth not roll? Here we go again.
Yep, you and your weird rolls, but you got a 5.
Okay, so we have Carl with a 5. We have Montre with a 4. Effie with an 8, which is surprising. I don't think Harlen's rolled
I only
yet.
have a D4 on that.
Yeah. Dublin with a 5. Harlen, I think is what we're still waiting on.
And I apologize to the audience. This whole time I've been implying that I'm not implying. I outright say that I have my Garand. I don't have my Garand. I have my elephant hunting gun.
You have both.
Oh, okay.
That was my thought. You had both. You have the elephant hunting gun that does like 2d10.
I mean, I've been saving that in case we encounter stuff in the wild, and it sounds like we're about to.
Yeah. 10. Yeah. So Harlen and Effie are super. I think Harlen and Effie aren't really carrying anything because they can't really carry a whole lot. I'm pretty sure they both have D4 strength.
Meanwhile, we're juggling like machine guns and bundles of German weapons, and well, the two of them are like, "Wow,
I'm agile, but I'm not." Yeah, I've got decent vigor, but not strength. No,
I'm not very strong either.
You have D6, which actually Montre is the strongest with a D8. You have D6, and then everybody else is D4. So.
Yep, and I D8 and I ignored the that very requirement for 90% of the weapons in the book.
You have to get accustomed to your load, which usually takes a little bit of time. But
my D6 puts me ahead of 3 people in the party.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
You got a face, a bookworm, and then a agile, sneaky guy. That's
okay. Fair enough.
I mean, you're
I
supposed.
like how you're calling me the face, even though I technically have 1d4 minus 2 faith, and so I can summon the 3 powers I chose and haven't revealed to anyone yet.
Yeah, you still need to take the arcane background, which is probably what will happen come after this. But
I mean, next time we get a up, I mean, I have the arcane background. What I need is the up in.
oh, the faith. That's right. Yes.
Yeah, I
'Cause
didn't
I
want to
like-
roll until I have faith 1d4.
You're gonna have to take a lot of Bloody Marys when you get back. That's for certain.
So when we
Wait, sorry, did
Hail
you just
Marys?
confuse Hail Marys with Bloody Marys?
Yes, I did.
Jesus.
I'm not Catholic, so
Pondo, what the heck?
that's gonna be my excuse. I'm not Catholic.
It's just an
I mean,
Irish version.
I don't know that any of us are, and yet
Yeah.
Kate and I immediately recognized what was wrong with that.
So have we advanced sideways out of one mission and into another?
Oh yeah, that's a great
I-
point. Now you're having to redo your prep. I would argue, just like Kane, that we should get in our advance right now.
We
That's a
finished the
fair
mission we came
argument,
to
but
do.
I'm
Please.
going to
New
say
Year's gift. New Year's gift.
you're still pretty much at the same mission because you have to actually get back.
New Year's gift. No. Christmas.
I mean, we're at the point where you walk outside and hit the fast travel to go back to England. You know. That's basically done, right?
No, your fast travel is blocked because there's enemies nearby. That's
You ask long enough, you get the answer.
same thing. You can't sleep in your bed because there's enemies nearby.
Of course.
Well,
Are you saying that our
at least-
actions have consequences?
well, at least we have a hunting rifle, so we can shoot open the cage with wild animals in the enemy camp.
Wow. Okay. So now we're full on going all the way back to Far Cry, huh?
It's like we went. Oh,
Jeez.
Back to the Far Cry reference.
the bad thing is I don't recall if the Far Cry, the Voss reference was. No, it wasn't recorded because that was during the stint that.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was what made you notice it, I believe, was while you were saying. Listen, Pondo implied that I was a psycho. All right, I just want to say, audience.
Listen, you were talking about faith after you just murdered a whole bunch of prisoners.
Yeah, and then I
so-
explained. The audience is not going to have heard any of it. I made a great argument in
Listen.
favor of everything that I did, and also they missed me and Kane having a role where Kane learned that I was lying, and that I wanted to kill those guys because
Yes.
I'm upset about my father being dead.
Yes, yeah, I'll have to. I'll have
What's
to do a
great is
summary
no
for
one
the first
else
time.
made that role, so only Kane knows it.
Yeah. And it's funny, it's because that's about what Carl was thinking, and then you confirmed it, and he was like, yeah, all right.
Grieving and needing something to relieve that pent up aggression. At yes, you
It
can't kill the
wasn't-
man who killed your father, but you can definitely kill the guys in front of you. Yeah, that's
Yeah, and it wasn't the silence of what word do I want to think? It wasn't a silence condoning it,
acknowledging.
acknowledging it. It wasn't a silence of saying, "Cool, I get it. I 100% support that."
It was the I see.
It was a silence. It was a silence of I understand.
Been there.
No, Carl.
Oh,
has
you had
not
a
been
vampire kill your father too? Oh, that's weird.
Daddy.
That happens more often than I thought.
Probably
That-
almost
that-
at one point. Yeah, I'd say.
the Effie. Everybody watched the first time Carl ever killed anybody. So he
Did it pretty non.
It looked nonchalant defense
Yeah.
as far as the actions were,
Just
but
shot 2 guys in the back of the head with a submachine gun while they weren't looking. Yeah.
Pretty professional.
Yeah, Effie's really like, "Are you a hitman? What?"
That good old monster killer blood coming in that make you not think about the morals till after.
Yeah, we're trying to ham up some of the stuff with that.
It's very much of good thing I stopped him. Oh wait, I just killed 2 guys who weren't looking.
This area's clear, guys.
Was that in cold blood? I don't know.
No, they were pretty angry.
Yeah, so next time we're gonna be playing Rambo essentially.
I didn't even think about Don's supposedly being dead. I've accepted it this whole time. So when Cotton was like, he might be the ghost, I was like, ooh, all of these plans I have are so dumb. We should still do them, though.
I didn't think about that either. I
Yeah,
was
that
like,
was a good call, Cotton.
That was the first thing I was thinking about the whole episode.
I didn't think about it at
I was
all.
pretty sure he was dead.
Yeah, I mean, now that you said it, I agree with you, but it would be a good idea to confront him either way, no matter who or what he is.
and what would ping around in Montre's brain if he actually understood that reference is the fact that that ghost is much younger than the things that he knows about. So the ghost is just literally like, here, I'll help you because it keeps me alive, and we're just going to make you even more of a problem.
I mean, it's the first time I think it's occurred to a lot of our characters, but we, at least as players, we did get that like after stinger where he walked into a room with a bunch of other people, so they could do our Dark Council meeting thing.
Yeah, and with Ruslan Omar and
Ruslan Omar
And my brother,
Lieutenant Bauer,
the Brazilian dude, right? They're the
Ignacio
Spanish guy.
Cueva.
Yeah. I've been playing as much as possible to not mention that, because it would be really easy to be like, yes, Nazis are bad, and also they're working with the guy who killed my father. It's so hard to separate that. I basically have to constantly be like, okay, I can't mention this. I can't mention it at all. So I didn't even think about the fact that he was still alive and that we knew it.
So
both in and out of character now.
This is also... Well, never mind. I'll wait till after.
It's also...
Don't ruin it, Pondo. Do the big reveal later.
No, I'll do.
He's already said that this guy's a final boss level enemy. So
I mean, it's one of your rogues gallery. So
yeah, right. We're doing the fire temple.
Yeah.
I mean, it's also like, for Carl at least, being like, oh, hey, he's alive. As far as he's concerned, yeah, he and Harlen are alive. Maybe they just got lucky. I don't know.
You guys threw the bombs behind you.
Underground in a collapsing tunnel. Yeah, like it's.
You were the last two people out of that building.
Carl admittedly almost got himself killed trying to grab another machine gun.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is Khan's making great points here.
Yes.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Carl just thinks he's probably just as lucky as Carl was. He doesn't think anything more of that.
I'm great that I was able to bring out the oh shit, that's right.
Yeah, that's always a good feeling. Things I forgot. You remember? Good, because I didn't.
All you have to do now, Pondo, is to waffo us. It's the ultimate expression.
You
of
are
PM
waffling
ability.
because you guys are sneaking around. You're going to find out.
What? Okay, that's not the same as waffling.
Well, I mean, you
Finding
gotta.
out is not the same as waffling.
You're going to have to
Are we
figure out if your
staffing
chef
them?
and your guide is
Go
alive.
around and find out.
Listen, we've all already assumed the chef is dead the first time we heard the gunshot. All right.
I
That's
forgot we had
true.
a chef.
I did too.
I mean, we had a chef. We had like a 20-minute aside of getting the chef,
Yes.
and then he fucking hated local African cooking.
Yeah.
The
I
chef
never
was a
figured out
pivotal
the chef.
character in this arc.
I
When they make this
had
into an
a monkey.
anime, he's gonna have a great voice actor.
Was the chef there because of Cotton's request?
Yeah, you wanted your dish. He was like,
Yeah.
well, I did say I would make it happen. Hey, Sean, help me out here. And we got a chef.
The odd thing is you brought him all the way out into the jungle, which I thought.
I wanted him to hold our camp down and make fresh food for when this isn't that weird. Living
I
a
was-
life of luxury.
I wasn't leaving anybody on the plane.
I agree that would have been a bad idea.
I know you weren't leaving really anybody anywhere because you were trying to I want to take the battery out of the dingo. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do that part. That was just KV.
That's going to be real awkward when you need to put the battery back into the dingo. That battery probably weighs your carry weight.
I wasn't trying to remove the battery. I was trying to disable the ignition.
It'd be real awkward when the chef's dead. They're like, if only they had a way to escape.
Neither of them were going to be able to drive the dingo out of where I got it.
They would have tried.
That's true. We did go like,
know what?
can we go
I gave
farther
them-
than it's safe?
I gave them a better chance at life because they would have tried to turn it over, realized it was hopeless, and ran away from it instead of struggling to drive until people caught up with them and killed them.
Oh yes, they'll just die tired. Yes, that's.
Yeah, yes. I let them roll more dice.
My magnanimous is in
For some
dice.
reason, I don't know why. It just seemed appropriate for Carl to be so paranoid about the chef.
I don't. You're paranoid
He's
about
seen Hunt
both.
for the Red October. He knows.
He's French. He's not to be trusted. That's
It
the
was the
problem.
damn cook.
Damn cook.
I'm getting flashbacks from the old Rogue Dark Heresy one shot.
Prendar Creed.
It's like, he's a heretic. Well, I gotta kick care of this guy. This guy's insulting my honor. Hold on a second. I'll be right back.
Carl's
Shoots him.
German.
Oh, he's got
The chef
damning
was
evidence that he was a heretic
French.
the whole time. It's like, oh, well, shit.
I did it.
That's how that went.
Erased.
It was like the very tail end of the session too. I think AP just threw it in as a here's this. It's okay.
No, he was the bad guy the whole time. Let me be really clear here. Yeah, I was like, well, I guess they're not gonna get him, and then you were like, I'm upset. I go kill the chef. Watch my face. I'm like, holy fuck! You literally just killed the heretic.
This guy had been running around the ship the entire time. Be like, he's a heretic. I was like, no, get back. Don't run away. Damn it. And I think we went to the kitchen or the cafeteria or whatever for one reason or another.
Yeah, you're there several times in that. Sometimes you're just talking to him like it was no big deal. That's why when I was watching, I was so confused. Like, why would he do that? It doesn't seem like. And KP's like, "Holy crap, you win!" I'm like, what?
He was calling me a heretic, and I was an Inquisition agent. That's a slander on my honor. I couldn't take that lying down.
And dead.
This is like when a dude pretended to be you on the other Warhammer 40k show, when the character I based on Connor pretended to be your character, and you were like, that's it, we gotta kill him. I'm so mad.
That's an Inquisition agent. Man is taking my name and using it.
He's
facing my
also
honor.
an Inquisition agent.
And? Has that stopped other Inquisition agents?
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it. So accusing everyone else.
I don't need a guy using my name to fuck it up in the end. I do that on my own.
Doesn't count. Only I am allowed to ruin my name.
Exactly. I don't need other people's help in doing that.